found a problem out that I didn't know exists, and it's actually the oil filter. I'm using an Oldsmobile front-wheel drive transaxle system, and this is a Chevrolet 4.3 V6. Now Chevrolet is a GM product as well as Oldsmobile. So the bell housings actually fit and you can bolt them up. The torque converters all interchange, the flywheels interchange. But we have a situation with the front wheel drive, the transaxle sets right here underneath the motor. So what I'm going to have to do, take the oil filter off of this thing, and they've done it for other race applications anyway, so it's not a big problem. This is the area I'm talking about in the transfer case. The engine fits right in here, but this oil filter would have to set right about there at this elevation. So this area right here is definitely in the way. We figured out what we're going to do with the oil filter. Now what I'm attempting to do, we're going to set the motor in the frame and get it lined out. I have to move a few braces, and we'll go ahead and take care of that. I think what we need to do is pull this oil pan here. Get the oil pan off. I'm going to end up having to cut a relief in this oil pan, and so it sets over the axle down there. So for right now, we're going to pull the oil pan off. You go ahead and get that off for me. I've got to start setting up the motor mount. Okay, Chuck, let's go ahead and set this motor, get it ready. As you can tell, we put the adapter plate on, and we're ready to drop this in and see if we can't get her to bolt together. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I had Chuck cut me off a couple pieces of angle iron. This is 3/8 by 2-inch angle iron, but it was an old trailer hitch a long time ago. And when I go scrapping, I look for pieces of metal like this that has some strength, and knowing their application, they're a little bit harder steel than mild steel. So it helps me designate what I need for structuring my trike or whatever I'm building at the time. It's got a bunch of rust on it and paint from being underneath the car for so many years, but it's still a good piece of metal. I'm gonna go ahead and dress it off, clean it up, and get this thing on the road. We're gonna put a motor mount in this trike today. Okay, what I'm doing right now is, this is a mounting plate. This will be the plate that the saddle's made out of. This 1/4-inch plate here, what I'm going to do is weld these nuts on so that when I'm done, I can flip this over. It will set on the frame like this, weld that 3-inch plate, pull the bolt top, and now I've got a removable saddle on a motor mount. So I'm going to go ahead and weld these nuts up and get it taken care of. cooking and eating and working at the same time. Give me one of them brats, Chuck. All right, I've already, we've got her welded. I've cut my holes for the relief. Now what I'm going to do is assemble this. These are vibration blocks to take the vibration off the motor for the motor mount. Alright, we've got the motor mount tacked in place, and now we're going to go ahead and lower the motor on it. It's actually not setting on it yet. We're going to set it, square it up the way we want it, make sure all the tolerances are proper, and then we're going to weld it to the plate. Chuck is cutting me some angles to come down on here to reinforce this section, and an angle inside to reinforce that section, and we'll put it all together. Well, we've constructed the saddle mount for the engine. There will be some finalizations on cutting, trimming, and welding, but that will be on further on down the road when we pull the motor and start correcting anything we've created.